Did you guys see what Candace Owens just released on the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni case? Because I think it actually just confirms that the whole reason that this is all an issue is because Ryan Reynolds, this is what I think Ryan Reynolds thought that Blake was cheating on.
Guttering's something that people still tease and bully, and it's something that's an easy target for that kind of thing.
Were you teased?
What's that?
Were you teased?
Yeah, for sure. And then I just kind of stopped speaking as much.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's part of the journey. It's just, and that's really what I tell everyone, is that it's not all of you. It's just a part of you, and everyone's got something. This just is your thing, you know.
Many people had no idea that Emily Blunt and Blake Lively reportedly became bitter enemies because Blake was allegedly pursuing Emily's husband, John Krasinski. It seems Blake's habit of placing herself where she is unwelcome goes beyond taking over other people's films or creative campaigns. Rumors claim she even attempted to step into Emily's entire world. Honestly, Emily appears to have the kind of life many admire: successful, stable, polished, and nearly untouchable today. She avoids the gossip spotlight, keeps her career rising steadily, and rarely faces major scandals. She has a loyal husband and loving children, and she never has to force charm just to win media attention or keep her Hollywood image shining. Sources say Emily was furious when whispers surfaced that Blake had been showing interest in her husband. And apparently, Emily has no intention of stopping until Blake's reputation completely falls apart. So, why would Blake walk away from her glamorous world to chase another woman's husband? And where does Ryan Reynolds fit into this whole messy story? Let's dive in.
Did Blake Lively pull a Hailey Bieber and stalk Ryan Reynolds before they started dating? Because Blake Lively's Van Zandt company was actually formed in 2008, 2 years before the rumored affair with Ryan Reynolds when they met on the set of The Green Lantern in 2000.
According to insiders who claimed to know everything and had all the details inside, this entire mess reportedly began at a private Chanel dinner in Paris back in 2022. During the gathering, several guests noticed Blake Lively seemed far too comfortable around John Krasinski. She was laughing at every joke he made, and he appeared to be smiling a little too much. Blake kept leaning toward him like they were the only two people there, acting like excited teenagers lost in their own world. And where was Emily during all this? Emily was right there, watching her husband get pulled into another woman's orbit in real time. In fact, photos from that evening showed Blake and John looking unusually close, while Emily was nowhere to be seen beside them. Anyone looking at those pictures might have assumed they arrived as each other's dates instead of married partners attending with their spouses. Strangely enough, nearly every image from that event seemed to disappear from the internet afterward. Sources say Emily was furious once the dinner ended and confronted John over whatever was going on between him and Blake. That confrontation is when the hidden details allegedly started surfacing. Rumors claim Blake had been unhappy in her marriage for quite some time and viewed John's kindness and support as something more than friendship. She supposedly began chasing after him, sending endless messages, calling at strange late-night hours, and somehow appearing at nearly every event John attended. The signal was obvious. Blake wanted John for herself and was reportedly ready to tear everything apart to make it happen, even if it meant destroying her bond with Emily Blunt. Before this entire chaotic situation unfolded, Emily and Blake were said to be incredibly close. Their friendship first grew because their husbands, John and Ryan, were also good friends, but eventually the two women became almost inseparable best friends themselves.
Valentine's Day, obviously. Any Valentine's Day plans for you?
Blake's taking me out for dinner.
No.
I'm sort of my husband's away, so are you going to take me out for dinner?
That felt nice.
I'm going to crash.
On that red carpet.
It felt kind of cozy. I feel like I want to join this date night.
I'm going to crash her and Ryan's.
The four of them often went on double dates and also visited one another at home from time to time. Back in 2018, Emily and Blake became viral after pictures of them at a Michael Kors fashion event started circulating everywhere. They were seated beside Zendaya and bursting hysterically over something. Once the images went viral, many assumed that Blake and Emily were laughing at Zendaya or whispering about her. However, Emily finally addressed those rumors during a 2021 Vanity Fair lie detector interview. According to Emily, Blake, who had on a red trench coat, was likely worried she might accidentally flash the cameras, and the two shared a private joke in that moment while Zendaya stayed focused on the runway. That explanation showed just how close they really were back then. The fact that they could share small private jokes like that proves their friendship was strong at the time. In an industry where calculated alliances usually matter more than real friendships, building a bond like that is uncommon. But apparently none of it mattered once Blake allegedly decided she wanted Emily's life for herself. Still, many people believe Blake is not entirely at fault here because Ryan Reynolds was reportedly far from a perfect husband. Rumors have followed Ryan for years, saying he has a massive ego and struggles with the thought of Blake being more successful than him in any area. Some insiders have also claimed Ryan is highly controlling and that, if things were up to him, Blake would have stepped away from acting completely to become a full-time stay-at-home mother. Over the years, people have resurfaced old blind items about Blake and Ryan, and some of those claims are shocking. One blind item from November 2012, only a few months after their wedding, claimed this was not the life the television and movie actress had expected. It said she did not agree to stay hidden indoors and disappear from public life. She wanted to go out, be recognized, build a career, appear in magazines, and enjoy the spotlight instead of staying home every night. But the report claimed that being with an A-list actor meant everything revolved around him and his needs. Another blind item from 2015 claimed that the former B-list actress, known mostly for television, was yelled at in front of friends for 20 straight minutes simply because she had hired the dog walker instead of walking the dog herself, even though her husband had specifically ordered her to do it personally. Sure, every couple has problems and no relationship is perfect all the time, but if those stories are true, that sounds toxic on another level entirely. According to insiders, things became even worse once Blake's career started rising again after a period where it had slowed down. People whispered that Blake was not only feeling unloved and trapped in her marriage, but that she was also desperately searching for some kind of escape. That eventually led to her allegedly going after Emily Blunt's husband, and the fallout was messy. But apparently this was not even the first time Blake had been accused of stepping into another woman's relationship. Many people forget there were once rumors that Blake had an affair with Ben Affleck while he was still married to Jennifer Garner. Reports claimed they grew close while filming The Town in 2010 and that the chemistry between them was impossible to ignore. The fact that Ben was married to Jennifer at the time allegedly made no difference, and rumors claimed it did not take long before things moved beyond the movie set. They were said to have been involved for months before Jennifer caught on, but by then the damage had already been done. A blind item from 2015 supposedly explained the entire situation between Ben and Jennifer and how Blake was involved. It mentioned Jennifer's OCD making life difficult at home while Ben's drinking, gambling, and constant cheating contributed heavily to the collapse of their marriage. The source described it as Ben risking everything because he almost wanted to get caught. It also referenced the former B-list television actress from the hit Almost Network show and claimed they hooked up repeatedly over a short span of time. The rumor suggested that if Ben had actually left his wife, the past 2 years of his life would have looked completely different. It also claimed Blake would have chosen Ben over her current husband without hesitation. That fueled even more speculation that Blake may have wanted Ben more than Ryan from the start. So naturally, people began asking why she chose Ryan in the first place. For those who may not know, Ryan and Blake reportedly started seeing each other while Ryan was still married to Scarlett Johansson. That detail supposedly explains why Blake reacted so strongly when she learned Ryan was planning to work with Scarlett again. According to insiders, Ryan had already started acting distant towards Scarlett when his alleged affair with Blake began. He would sneak away to answer calls, come home late, and constantly create excuses to be away from home. One blind item from 2015 claimed Scarlett once talked about her A-list movie actor ex and revealed that at least 3 times, during intimate moments, he stopped everything to answer calls from his mother. Scarlett reportedly began to suspect he would call his mom before they were together and ask her to ring during those moments. The blind item then claimed his new wife probably tolerated it while crying herself to sleep, wondering why she traded her own fame for that marriage. But according to the rumor, Ryan was never speaking to his mother at all. The person on the other end was allegedly Blake, his secret mistress at the time. Eventually, Ryan ended things with Scarlett and publicly launched his relationship with Blake, setting off a chain of drama that people are still talking about years later. And ever since then, critics have questioned whether their relationship was built on secrets, ambition, and betrayal from the very beginning itself.
We just get confirmation that Ryan Reynolds cheated on Scarlett Johansson with Blake Lively. Now, it's been rumored that these two had an affair on the set of The Green Lantern. That's where they met. Ryan Reynolds was the Green Lantern, Blake Lively played his love interest. But at the time, Ryan Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson, and Blake Lively was dating Penn Badgley. Then by the end of 2010, Ryan Reynolds had divorced Scarlett Johansson, and Blake Lively had broken up with Penn Badgley. Then by 2011, they confirmed their relationship, and by 2012, they're getting married on a plantation.
Sadly, their honeymoon stage did not last very long. Blake reportedly felt deeply insecure about the marriage because its foundation was already unstable. She would lose control anytime Ryan had any connection to Scarlett, and Ryan did little to convince her that part of his life was truly over. A blind item from 2014 described just how toxic things had become between them. It claimed that this former A+B+ list actress, known mostly for television and barely acting anymore because of her controlling A-list husband, also had serious control issues herself. According to that report, Ryan received a screener of a movie starring his almost A-list ex, and he did not throw it away quickly enough. That allegedly sent Blake into a complete meltdown, screaming at him, accusing him of still wanting his ex, and becoming so overwhelmed she was spitting and struggling to breathe. Their relationship reportedly kept falling apart until both of them were searching for reasons to stay away from each other. Things reportedly got even more intense after Blake began having children, with the pressure between them reaching its highest point. Sources claim they started using close friends as emotional buffers. Taylor Swift would step in to help them sort through their issues, while Emily and John would invite them on double dates so they could relax and settle down. But during those meetups, Blake allegedly started developing feelings for John because she watched how he treated Emily and wished she was receiving that same kind of love. And, apparently, John was not the only man Blake had her eyes on. When Justin Baldoni approached her for the lead role in It Ends With Us, rumors claim she became interested in him almost right away. According to Justin's lawsuit, Blake would invite him to her trailer while she was breastfeeding or pumping and reportedly refused to work with the intimacy coordinator hired for the film. It was also claimed that she called him late at night, sometimes around midnight, trying to keep his attention on her. Ryan, however, was not blind to what was happening. When he confronted Blake, she denied everything and allegedly made it seem like Justin was the one chasing her. Sources say she had no plans to sue Justin until Ryan strongly pushed her into it. Later, an insider posted online saying they have received information from someone who supposedly worked on the set of It Ends With Us and claimed that while Blake was getting most of the criticism, Ryan Reynolds was actually the real villain behind the entire situation.
Did you guys see what Candace Owens just released on the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni case? Because I think it actually just confirms that the whole reason that this is all an issue is because Ryan Reynolds, this is what I think Ryan Reynolds thought that Blake was cheating on him. Here's the thing, if you don't know what Candace just released, she basically said that an insider scoop on the set of the movie It Ends With Us released to them that the issues started when Ryan randomly started showing up on set and demanded to see the dailies, which is all the footage that they shoot that day that like we wouldn't necessarily see in the movie, but like they would see it, right? It's like all the footage that they would go through before they make the movie. Why would he want to see that? Why would he want to see that? Apparently, purportedly, him and Blake were also fighting in the trailer. I would never like project or say my opinions on someone else's marriage, except in this case, we have an issue of a woman who is purportedly accusing someone else of sexual harassment. And it could be that Blake actually maybe had kind of a weird thing with this guy. And Ryan was like, this is weird. This is weird. And to save face, she was like, he sexually harassed me. And so he went on set and demanded to look at the footage because that is actually the only thing that makes sense. And my mouth is on the floor.
Ryan also reportedly pushed talent agency WME to cut ties with Justin Baldoni. According to insiders, Ryan gave WME a direct ultimatum. It was either their side or his. The choice was simple: drop Justin or risk losing Blake, Ryan, and even Taylor, who were all reportedly represented by WME at the time. In all of this chaos, Blake likely never expected her own history to come back and catch up with her. But Emily apparently has no plans to simply let everything slide after nearly watching her marriage fall apart. Seriously, when did it become normal for close friends to go after each other's husbands? Sources claim the situation behind the scenes is still extremely tense, and Blake and Ryan are allegedly begging Emily not to speak out just yet because it could damage their case against Justin Baldoni and make things even worse than they already are. But what do you think? Should Emily reveal everything anyway? And what are your thoughts on Blake being labeled an alleged serial side chick? Drop your opinions below.